Greetings. Welcome back to Plant City. We are Moringa farming in Plant City, Florida at a 8-acre property in Plant City where we've interplanted several rows of moringa trees as well as bananas. We've got avocado trees, mulberry trees, guavas, macadamias, lots of citrus in between the rows of huge mama moringa trees. And so I just came in and haven't been here since December. This location has been in the Moringa Growers Co-op since 2017, and we come back about 2 to 3 times a year. We harvest the greens, and we've been managing this property along with the owner to make sure that all the trees are healthy and safe. Because what he'll do is he'll come by really quickly and he'll just drop organic matter, mulch every few months on the trees. But what that does is it kind of bogs them down. It keeps them wet. It can create fungus. I'm swallowing flies right now. There's literally like tons of flies out here. Whew. I mean, we are in the middle of summer in Florida. Look, we've got some grapefruits. Let's see if we can see. Ooh, yes. So everything's organic out here. And so I just made a video before this about what it looked like before, and then now I wanted to show you what it looks like after. And so we've got some trees here that I've already harvested, and we're gonna keep them tall. I mean, we're leaving a lot of greens on there right now. This is the type of pruning that we want to do this time of year. We're getting all the lowers around the edge of the circumference cut back low. We're keeping the centers and creating space within the middle of the tree by trimming these pieces that are growing inside the tree out. You can see we literally cut this one completely back as it was in the center. We're cutting, sometimes if it has more than 2 or 3, we'll cut them back. That way they're just not as crowded. It lets the sunlight in. It'll let it dry out. In months like now, right now, June, July, August, September, it's going to rain every single day for the next 3 months. So we want to make sure we're drying them out. One of the biggest things that I did here, and want everybody to know a rule about trees, is that you can't have soil up to the base of the tree. You got to let it breathe, especially moringa trees. You want to allow for drainage. So we pulled all the soil away from the base of the tree. I mean, it was sitting up to here against the tree. No fault of anybody, just, this is my job in the whole process, is to take care of the trees, make sure when the guys come in, they're dropping the soil down real quick, that I come by and I'll take my hands and I'll make sure all the trees are really safe. We'll get all this, all the stuff off of here. That way there's no bugs or ants. One of the biggest pests in this area during this time of year, can be fungus and carpenter ants. And so we're also just getting off all the spindles, that have just been sitting up here that didn't really take. We're trimming all the lowers so that way we continue to create this rotunda. We're opening up the center, that way the sun can penetrate and dry this tree out fast, because with all the wet, because this is a softwood, and so if it ends up rotting and staying too wet, it's going to shorten the lifespan of the tree. And so there's just little things that we're doing to keep up with the maintenance of the tree. We thinned it out a little bit. This one actually, I noticed this one doesn't have many flowers on it. It doesn't even really have any drumsticks on it. I'm wondering if this one's a male. And then this one right next to it, it's got tons of drumsticks on it, lots of flowers. That's a female. This one right here doesn't have many flowers, doesn't have many drumsticks at all, nothing. That's a male. Then we come by and we look to see this one has lots of drumsticks, lots of flowers. That's a female. So moringa trees are hermaphroditic in nature, where they are self-pollinating trees. They can produce flowers and drumsticks. But when they get in a scene like this, where there's lots of family members. You know, they're not going to compete too much, and they're going to either become more male if needed or become more female if needed. That's what happens when you remove males from, say, families. Then that's a, you know, I don't even want to get into it really, but I study plants, and it tells me a lot about people and society and farming plants, farming people, knowledge, resources, wanting to do things right here at Numa Farms and with the Moringa Growers Co-op. Just taking notice that plants and animals can take on different sexes. You know, they're hermaphroditic in nature, and they're not just one thing or the other thing. And that could be all things. And we respect everyone and every plant as they are, and love them for what they want to be, male or female. And so these trees, it's so crazy that there was like a little bit of a male, female, male, female. I thought that was really beautiful. Wow, this one right here. So I love this one. So I planted this one like 2 years ago. Super nice, super thick. And then so we thinned it out a little bit inside here. You can see we cut some of the pieces back inside there that were going inside the middle. Trying to keep maybe two off the fork. So I cut that piece. I cut this piece 6 months ago. It split. Every time you cut, it splits. And that's the rule of thumb. So I'm an architect, and I'm building and structurizing trees. And I love doing this. This is a beautiful thing to me. I love the look of it. This is the fastest growing tree in the world. So everything you see here is 6 months worth of growth. I did leave those centerpieces tall. Okay, so those ones actually were already there. Those tall pieces were already there. But what I mean is everything that you see low like this, like exactly what I did here is what I did 6 months ago to these trees. And look how big they just got. They just got massive. I mean, this is amazing. So we're super impressed, in love with Miss Moringa tree. Sorry, baby. If I had to choose, Miss Moringa. Love all the queens and the mermaids. And yeah, I'm playing in my field. I'm a farmer outstanding in this field, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is actually a friend's property that joined the co-op in 2017. His wife actually planted these trees about 5-6 years ago from cuttings from Africa. And these have just been cut and just producing drumsticks. I mean, just amazing. These ones here I planted 2 years ago, but the ones on this other line over here, these were the originals. This is the original line. He also said there was a fire out here. He said he lit a fire. He said this one caught up on flames, burned completely up, came back. What the heck? How is there a fire out here? What was he doing? He was doing something. But yeah, man, look at this. They call me the Moringa goat. If you've never heard about Moringa, go to my website, numanursery.com. Subscribe to the Numa Nursery YouTube channel. We've got over 400 videos coming out that are going to answer all your questions about Moringa. If you have a question about Moringa, type it in the spicy YouTube, our channel's YouTube video search. Type in a question. You're going to see the answers, Moringa answers, right there for you in the playlist, Moringa Answers. I've been farming Moringa trees in the Tampa Bay area. Started the Moringa Growers Co-op about 5 years ago. Loving it. We've got food for days. The abundance Moringa brings. We're so grateful that we're farming, we're producing food, we're helping the community, helps regulate blood sugars, blood pressure, and it's fun. Fastest growing tree in the world. I am completely amazed. Let's go to the other rows real quick. Yes, we've got guava. That thing blew down. That thing got froze down all the way to the ground. I cut it all the way back, came back. Lots of citrus out here. Yeah, these are all Moringas. So thank you, Miss Moringa. Thank you, Miss Moringa. So please keep in touch. Give me a call if you have any questions directly, 813-690-6516. If you want to give me a text and you want me to answer your question, I can, 813-567-3100. If you'd like me, I'm an architect. If you'd like me to help design your moringa food forest, send me an email at grow@numanursery.com. Give me a site plan. If you're interested in growing moringa trees, don't know where, don't know how, they're on mounds, 15 feet apart. They're spaced 9 feet apart each. It takes several years to get drumsticks that are viable, that are dark and mature to produce oil. So don't rush it. Don't worry about drumsticks in the first year or 2 years. Just get you nice greens and then trim them back, get them trimmed back. We're making space, we're getting lots of room in there so it dries out. We're also respecting the trees and not taking too much. So much love, Moringa love. I'm Kendrick Henry. Peace and prosperous growing.